Hi, I'm Barry John, and welcome back to Let's Play Overload. I have two co-pilots, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey, this is Crazy Ahmed, and I'm still enjoying those first synth stabs every time I hear them.
We have arrived at
I'm Laylite, and I need pictures of the Material Defender on my desk by Sunday.
Titan Harbor. All
Well, considering this video goes up on a Sunday, I think it'll have to be next Sunday.
unless their flight plan is diverted. While
And so we are at the end of the middle act of this game. Titan Harbor represents, the end of Act 2, and we'll be going into Act 3 after this. So naturally we're going to be getting something of a very interesting plot development in this level.
MPSV, this is Titan Harbor, Cronus Frontier. Your transponder is off. This is a direct violation of the Ceres Accord.
First, apparently nobody was actually expecting us to arrive, so
Titan Harbor.
that was quite odd.
Response 2 minutes later. The interference appears to have affected our transmissions as well. However, I can find nothing wrong with the Iberia's transponder or communications. All systems are normal.
Wait a second.
Titan Harbor
Was that just backmasked?
of an unknown heavy operator with a reactor power core. I have also detected a UPI signature for something called a but I
This
have
doesn't
not
forebode or,
by this
tell me anything new or couldn't be expected. Also, in the
no.
video, you can, time bomb is odd. I hate this guy.
Oh, dual Vulcans. Oh, very, very classy.
Yes, and it's new design.
Hey, it's got wings. It's not just a brick
And-
with guns.
Quick, take one guess as to how this boss fight is going to go, just by looking at that enemy design.
It says Taurus, so, is it one of those giant, charging robots that's gonna, with Afterburner at you?
Yes.
Oh god, is there a dog?
I was
roll we can
expecting,
upgrade?
something armed with the fusion cannon, but I guess this works too.
Yeah, but, well, I've got the fusion cannon, the Thunderbolt, and I've upgraded it to be semi-tracking, as the 2 or 3 people who made their opinions known about.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about that transmission we noted in the opening spiel there. How exactly did the ship get a recording of our outgoing transmission that was garbled?
I think what's going on is that the AI of our ship was just hacking into the communications of this facility here, Titan Harbor, and got what Titan Harbor sent and what Titan Harbor recorded our response to be.
I guess that makes a certain amount of sense, but then whatever was garbling our transmission surely also would have garbled the download of that data. So I don't know what the deal is.
Neither do I, but I suppose it's a plot device. And also, I take a moment here to give me a second. Stop abusing the creeper past me. There we go.
Hey, gotta save ammo.
Yep.
That way your good gun has more ammo in it.
So, the Thunderbolt maintains the charge. The fusion beam, let's call it what it is, maintains the charge and has a homing that's equivalent to the micro missiles we use.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice. The other subtle benefit of this homing thing is that if it goes fully straight out of a hallway, that there's probably not any enemies right next to the corner, although there could still be some that are a little farther away.
Yeah. Ow. Okay, well, cloaking device worked there.
Yeah, it seems like with a Cloak, the strategy for those guys would be to fire once when you're way at one end of the corridor and then just let them charge past you.
I have a feeling we might
And
be
of course
seeing some of that a bit later.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I did use the effect of the cloaking device, brain breakage there for a second. In the past, in one of the previous videos, I upgraded my power-up length to 20, to extend the length of the time of frame my cloak and my invincibility has. So, makes it easier to use them.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything really wrong with I mean, as much as you ever can say anything is wrong, I think you're doing fine with this whole creeper usage just to help moderate your ammo consumption. I mean, they're there to be used. As long as you can get If you're killing some enemies with them, it sounds like they're doing their job.
Yeah, and as you pointed out at a much earlier level, the game is a lot more liberal with giving me missile weapons, so just using them isn't really extending or, using them up. It's just, making room in my ammo bins for the replacements I'll inevitably get.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think this game is really out to ammo starve you. It's just trying to challenge you with the enemy layout more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so long as Chapter 3 isn't survival horror themed.
No comment.
Listen, we're in space. I think they've finally replaced all the typewriters with computers.
True. Actually, what I was going to say was, you guys have no idea how much of a wall this level was for me in terms of, getting a viable recording that wasn't me just botching my way through the whole thing.
You're making it look easy as you get side-slammed by another rocket.
Yes. Trust me, I'm making it look easier than the frustration I had playing this level in my practice runs.
I mean, that's usually how the mid-game goes, is no individual enemy is that scary, but if you get caught off guard, or especially if you get comboed, then you can definitely die.
Especially when you're running into set pieces where, like this part here where you've got to go through this small gap and there's a lot of enemies pointed at you and you can't point back at them as easily.
Yeah, there's a lot of variance between cases where you skillfully manage to kill an enemy in the first few seconds, or due to some random variances in aim or just differences in the timing of when you approach a section, maybe you don't kill that enemy in the first few seconds, you have to give up some ground, and then all of a sudden the situation is much, much worse because that one enemy is still alive, and now all the rest of the enemies are creeping up, and it can kind of snowball from there, just because you were slightly inefficient killing that first enemy.
True. One of the things I want to point out was that there was that super enemy throwing green balls at me. And he picked dropped a smart missile, the Nova missile, when he died. That is a weapon we don't have yet, and that is this game's equivalent of the plasma rifle.
Oh, so the reflex gun wasn't the plasma rifle?
No, the reflex gun is technically the plasma rifle, but it has more in common with the Phoenix cannon of Descent 2. But
go ahead.
Sorry, but from the visuals, and Time Bomb. But from the visuals and the way it acts, it's more that's the proper plasma gun than anything else. But we don't have it.
Plasma gun, but more so.
Yes.
Okay,
but also, we
have
room for. Yeah, we also have enough room for one more primary weapon.
Oh, those little tiny icons in the lower left and the lower right underneath the text that lists the weapon names. Okay, that's what that's on.
Yeah. Also, me grabbing the invincibility power-up and charging into here, totally not plan A.
Seems like it's working out for you.
True, but I just have to... And I have 200 shields, so even though invincibility is done... Oh, ow. I've still got, plenty of defenses here. Trust me, this room can... as Laylight was talking about earlier, this is a room where even one small mistake or one missed shot can really snowball out of control.
Yeah, it kind of does seem like... It's hard for me to tell just from this footage, but it does seem like the spawn rate in this room is not, super high, but high enough that if you don't finish your encounters cleanly, then the robots can kind of start piling up on you.
It doesn't help any that half the enemies that spawn in this room are the Seeker missiles.
Yeah, you need to be able to focus, and if there's enemies attacking you from two directions, you're just not going to be able to fight as efficiently as you could if you're just reducing these to a series of one-on-one encounters.
Also,
and it's not to say that you have to play perfectly, it's just that, if things get out of control, you are going to start taking damage.
It's really open,
I also wanted to
hide.
enjoy sorry, you were saying?
It's really open there, nowhere to hide.
Yeah. But actually, I just wanted to enjoy the fact that for a couple of moments, I actually had 200 energy, 200 shields, and 500 ammo. I was literally as full could be. Oh.
Well, don't worry. Game will fix that.
Yeah, very quickly. I have to say, though, is that playing through this game, the one thing that trips me up so much is because I've spent the past 2 years playing, Descent, is that there's 4... Sorry, plasma weapon there. There's the 4 primaries and the 4 secondaries when I'm so used to it being 5 and 5, so sometimes I still reflexively hit 6 for my concussion missiles and wind up grabbing the homing missiles instead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those tiny differences. Anyway, yeah, that's a real nice, mercy, or like a kind of a knowing wink from the developers putting those shield generators where you can snipe them from this entrance.
Oh, you haven't seen what I'm about to do yet. So, let's go grab the driller, and...
Oh, I see something down there. Oh, are those the generators? Enemy spawners?
Yes, they are, and they won't turn on until I enter the room.
Nice, nice.
So, yes, everybody, I'm about to snipe those guys from outside the room before they can even turn on in the first place.
Yeah, now that's a good reward. It doesn't trivialize the level, but it definitely helps you skip a part of that could be annoying, and rewards you for just noticing that you can do that.
Mm-hmm. But of course I just have to finish covering my, making sure nobody's going to
Securing your
sneak up
retreat.
behind me. Yeah. But here's the thing, though, because of the fact that the gun is mounted underneath you, I have this very narrow shot between the level geometry to try and actually hit this target reliably.
Yeah, I guess that's the other aspect of this, is if you're not careful, you're going to wind up wasting some ammo, which then it's kind of like a self-inflicted ammo drain rather than anything that the level geometry itself is, or the supplies in the level are putting on you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's part of the cost of sniping it safely. You're trading some ammo for shields.
Yeah, and you're making a whole bunch of noise, you're giving any remaining enemies a chance to sneak up on you, any fair chance for your incomplete cleaning job to catch up to you. So definitely easier to do if you're doing your extinctionist run rather than if you're speed running, but hey, they'll make it work.
Alright, so I've got 2 out of 6 time bombs right now, and I haven't actually used any of them yet. I'm saving them up for the boss fight. Does anybody want to take a guess as to what they do?
We already did.
I don't remember. Oh, sorry, just...
Ooh.
Sometimes you just hear the guys coming and it's like, son of
Oh,
a...
yeah, that's a nasty trap. Oh, did it? Oh, I was wondering if that one that passed you was actually trying to turn around and get you from your backside in the corridor, but I think that was just the next one coming in.
Actually, it was both.
Anyway, I haven't really commented that much on the level itself. It seems fine. I do definitely appreciate how they're texturing each kind of section of this area differently, so even though it's kind of maintaining the same aesthetic as a lot of these prior levels we've gone through, at least you can tell that you've gone into a new room at least. Like, each room looks different, even if it's not necessarily obvious how they all connect together. Like, this definitely does seem like one right after refer to the map a lot, but at the same time, at least you can recognize where you have been already.
And of course, as you mentioned earlier, using creepers or that sort of thing to act as a,
Enemy detection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a cheaper smart missile.
Interesting how they're actually bothering to render the shadow of that spinning missile power up there.
Just to goad you
Well,
into
if you've got-
triggering the ambush.
I mean, if you've got the graphics processing, you might as well.
Yeah, it's like a... they probably did that on purpose, those cheeky level designers.
2117-.
They think of everything, don't they?
The NPSV from Juno Offworld is now completely unloaded. Jurgen estimates at least 3 months of maintenance and prep before we can send it back home.
And we get our first log already in this level. it's going to be interesting how this turns out, but they're mentioning in one of the shuttles is getting ready for refurbishment so they can send it back, back to Juno Offworld.
I think just before you picked up that log, I think that was one of those enemies on the left was actually that twin Vulcan driller that they were talking about in the briefing at the beginning.
Oh, you're about to see a lot of them. Give me a second here. Grab the super power-ups, and they start spawning in this room.
I love how visible those shots are. Like, I don't think they're quite hit scan. They're probably fast enough that you're not really meant to dodge them unless you're already moving. Like, if you're flat-footed, they're going to hit you. But it is really obvious where they're coming from.
Yeah, unlike previous drillers where it was this invisible hit scan weapon of doom.
Like, it's still a hit scan weapon of doom, but at least you know what angle it's coming from. At least as long as it's in your field of view, that is.
Yeah.
Or it's loud.
Yeah. Or, if the shots miss, you can see where they're coming from and where they're going.
It looks like a sleek enemy design. It's kind of small-ish, but at least it doesn't seem to be moving that quickly.
Yeah, they've got quite a narrow silhouette compared to most other stuff. However, the Cyclone doesn't have a problem with that, though. But yeah, it's interesting to see one that looks like it's got an actual aerofoil wing-like design as opposed to everything else, which is very clearly, we are in space, we don't need no aerodynamics.
No, that's very true. And of course, I have to admit, I have to admit to you abusing the fact that, yes, I've practiced this level 13 bazillion times. I know some points where pulling out the smart missile and just dumbfiring down a corridor to hit somebody is the best option.
Yeah, it's, I mean, for a standard enemy, those Hydras, or whatever they're called, that shoot the little tiny missiles, the missile pods, I think they're called.
Yeah.
They definitely seem like one where you need to get that preemptive damage on them in order to actually kill them in a reasonable amount of time.
This doesn't look suspicious at all.
But I do abuse the fact that I can fire the Devastator a second time to cause it to detonate before it reaches its target, to great effect there.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't, like, another door that opened when you flew into the middle of that room, honestly. There were only 2 enemies in there.
We need a crowd tube berth on the Iberia for Alex Warden.
Weird. That's mentioning for the Iberia, but
Find a secure
wait a second. The Iberia is our ship. We were inbound, so these guys were planning on using our ship to get this Alex guy out of here.
Not find out about this. Alex have full responsibility.
Yeah, this is lending further support for that theory I had a couple of episodes ago about what's going on. But I'm still going to keep my cards close to my chest in that regard.
I owe you. We all do.
It's odd that she would mention Iberia as we were still on British Saturn at the time of this transmission. I need to investigate.
And even our AI buddy's like, this is not adding up.
We got a nice big room here to kind of change up what up to this point was much smaller rooms and like flatter corridors and whatnot.
The MPSV is now en route to Juno. At Harper's request, I added Alex Warden and an unspecified payload to the manifest. Cantor's gonna kill me, but Harper wouldn't ask unless it was the right thing to do.
That definitely isn't adding up.
Yeah, wait a minute. What incentive does Harper have to do any of this stuff? Or was it Harper that gave those orders? Or was it somebody acting in their name?
I'm also commenting that this guy's mentioning that the MS, like the shuttle that they're sending out, Ooh, ow, ow, ow. Is leaving, but that's our shuttle that's arriving, so the timeline isn't matching up here.
Can you remind me where we came from before we got to level 1?
We were outbound from Juno Offworld, which is based in the asteroid belt, on a 2-year trip to Saturn.
Yeah, so we came from Saturn before this whole, before we reached each of these levels. But
No, because we've been flying inwards towards Saturn from the asteroid belt towards Saturn, and we've been working our way inwards through the moons.
Oh, right.
Sounds like someone might have intercepted us. We are amnesiac after all, right?
Teth has shipped over a device called the Time Bomb to UPI Engineering.
Sorry guys, I forgot about this. Overwriting it.
Kentor doesn't even know.
Basically he's...
They're having
Yeah.
a hell of a time attaching it to the pylon.
So, yeah, they're going like, with this weapon, nobody has any idea what it's about.
Is this whole thing just going to be the future equivalent of like a couple of yahoos stealing a few of the demolition explosives from the mine, going out to the asteroid belt, cracking some tinnies open, and letting sparks fly, and then figuring out that, oh shit, that was a bigger bomb than we thought?
I couldn't tell you at this point, because, well, the information we have is not adding up.
Well, we know how to solve that. Collect even more logs.
Yep.
It would be very, very fitting to this LP if the whole thing was caused by just a couple of stupid OSHA violations.
We just received the new auto ops from Titan Workshop. I served forward.
Oh,
to his
dang it.
community.
Somebody put in a less than sign instead of a greater than sign in this check. That's why all these robots are going crazy.
Don't mind
Oh no,
me.
the robots are running JavaScript. They've coerced this value into the wrong type.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just... Part of me is being slightly paranoid about spacing issues and just trying to figure out where things are. Because part of me is going, wait a second, there's a log in there that I haven't grabbed. I need to go grab it.
Oh, are they getting to the point where they're actually hiding the logs themselves behind puzzles?
Yes.
Yeah, that seems in character.
And me going, where, how... Oh,
I mean, this kind of creates like a weird situation where, like, if you collect all the logs that are in sight but miss one that's kind of out in the open, then you solve the super puzzle in order to get the second most important plot development that seems to be like incriminating or blackmail or something that helps crack the case. Then you kind of have to backtrack into the level, and then you find like this last log just somewhere random that's actually got the most important stuff in there.
Yeah, well, that's the way they set it up in this game, is because the logs are triggered based on not the order in which you pick them up, but like first log gives you the first log entry, second log doesn't matter which order you collect them in. It all becomes a case of
Yeah,
trying
so
to
there's
find
no way
them
to correlate the security or confidentiality of the logs with the securities that are in place to protect them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a level-by-level basis. So, you win some, you lose
So
some.
far we've sent auto ops from the workshop, components from the forge, something called a Thunderbolt from Titan Collider.
I like the fact that they're still talking about the Thunderbolt in these mysterious terms, even though we've got it and I've upgraded it a bit as well. I don't know, there's something about the way these Guardians are taking damage. It makes me think that there's a hidden variable on them that makes them more resistant to the hunters.
I mean, yeah, that's the kind of thing where you really have to actually start crunching the numbers in order to be sure about it.
We lost contact.
Yeah, kind of strange that that robot went around that side rather than the other side, but I guess it just
Spawner is off.
chose that way.
We're unable to establish contact. This could be the attack Kentor warned us about.
Oh, well, that's an odd correlation to make.
Just one, though. Is that
Yeah.
usually what an attack looks like?
I don't know, it could be if we're hijacking all of their drones. But I do like the fact that in that room there, when you pick up the key, the door is literally right below you, if through that grate.
You know, if it wasn't for the fact that these places are obviously already overrun by crazy robots, I'd be very wary of the fact that we're just kind of unquestioningly obeying our AI buddy, sending us all over the place to shoot stuff.
I mean, what choice do we have? Like, otherwise we, what? We just go AWOL? Go home? We've got a job to do.
Yeah, true. We'd probably lose our healthcare benefits.
I mean, if anything else, you know, at the very least, we're picking up the, not the hostages, the people in the cryopods, so we're doing some form of good here.
Yeah, and now this is me realizing that, I can't save now that I'm in the middle of the boss room,
Alright.
but also I've got this room that I've completely missed, I think.
Are you going to be able to go back for it when you've killed
No,
the
I
boss?
can't. Because I have no idea how to get out at this point. I'm like, this is a completely optional area. I need to, replay the level now.
Yeah, you're not going to have enough time after the reactor countdown goes off to, oh, hello.
So, behold the time bomb. It slows down everything.
That is not what I expected it to do based upon the name, but fair enough.
Huh. I was expecting it to do it just in a small bubble, not the whole area.
Wow, that thing has got a lot of health. I can't tell if it's because it's armored from the front or if it's just that your Cyclone just doesn't do that much damage to it.
It's got a lot of health. Also, me realizing, crap, I've grabbed the wrong gun.
Oh, you're using the flak. You didn't even upgrade that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this, usually in a situation like this, I'd try and kill all the small enemies first, but it looks like they're coming out as spawners. Are you allowed to destroy the spawners?
Nope, they're the shielded spawners as usual.
Alright, so it's a waste of time then. Like, maybe you kill some and they're far away from the spawners just to give yourself some breathing room, but otherwise you just gotta focus on the boss.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, at least it makes more sense from, than the boss kind of spawning them in mid-air with a lightning animation. At least now you can tell where the enemies are going to be coming from and spreading out from.
Very true.
So you can kind of strategize around that.
Yeah. I also like the fact that, this guy does have a secondary weapon of his own, and it's the Creeper.
Yeah, that's pretty gross, gotta say.
And I'm guessing he probably doesn't take very much damage from running into his own creepers.
No. Also, energy charge station, because why not?
I'm sure if you kind of turtle in here for too long, the boss will be able to find you and then shoot creepers at you in there.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out that this guy does teleport.
Oh, interesting.
So he's a return of the teleporting bosses from Descent 1, Descent 2. Like that.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's about what I would expect from boss level damage. He didn't die instantly, but, he had some problems there.
Yeah.
Back at the
Also
start
me
of
I'm
going-
glad that fight didn't go on any longer than it already did. That seemed like long enough to make a point, but not long enough to overstay its welcome.
Yeah, this is me trying to figure out where the last little super power-up is.
Super upgrade point?
Yeah. But nope, just found an overdrive, and I realized, you know what? It's not that vital, but I need to get out of here. And this is the hidden room I was thinking of that I couldn't gain access to. So, that was level 10, end of the act, and I barely escaped with my life because I couldn't find what I was looking for.
Still, job well done.
Yep,
that's a
time to
much
head for the
fairer
inner
fight.
moons. Tethys Lab is next. Dun dun dun. And stop.